So the other day, there was a pretty darn bad situation in Virginia involving a cop and a woman that is absolutely deranged. I'm gonna break this down because I think this brings up probably 5 different things that are truly a problem in this country right now, and it's pretty sad. So, an officer went to do a welfare check on a woman who is a big woman. She was a basketball player at Georgetown. I believe she's 6'5". That's a big person. I'm around 6'3". That's a monstrous woman. So, knocks on the door, and she responds with just pulling a knife out and slashing the guy.
New body camera footage tonight showing the moments a Fairfax County police officer was attacked before he shot and killed a woman in Reston. Kenneth Bowden's in the newsroom with the details on the case. Kenneth?
Jim, we must warn you, it's a stunning and disturbing encounter. Officer Peter Liu was responding to the home of 33-year-old Sydney Wilson last month. Her doctors had expressed concerns about her mental health, and then this happened. The woman initially opening the door, but then she slammed it in the officer's face. You can even see a slight smile there. This happened at her apartment on Sunrise Valley Drive. Then 10 minutes later, Wilson came out swinging, armed with a knife. The video shows Officer Liu retreating, backing down the hallway when Wilson moves toward him. She swiped at the officer again with that knife before he fired 3 shots at her.
So this is wild. So on that first slash, she got him in the face. And this whole thing to me looks like it was planned out because she opened the door and said, "How are you?" to kind of bring him in, I guess, and then just slashed him.
And thank you for joining us. We begin today with some shocking police body cam footage of an officer responding for a welfare check. He's confronted by a woman who's having a mental episode. She's wielding a knife, and it ends with the woman being fatally shot. Now we've learned she's 6'6" and played basketball for Georgetown University. Amber Cogliano reports on a story in which we warn you the video is intense.
It begins with a knock on the door. An officer is doing a welfare check on the woman who lives in this apartment in Reston, Virginia.
Hi, man. I'm Officer Liu.
She slams the door shut. He knocks again. Little does he know that the woman behind the door is a former Georgetown basketball star, Sydney Wilson. She's 6'6".
Can you talk to me real quick? Can you please talk to me? We just want to check on you, make sure you're okay, that's all.
The door suddenly flings open and Wilson slashes the officer in the face.
So I think this whole thing brings up a lot of questions. One, why did the officer feel like he had to wait so long to shoot this person? I think initially he was stunned, he got slashed in the face, but when she's charging at him again, why did he continue to wait? I mean, he waited until she tried to get him again. And I think that's honestly kind of the problem in terms of how this country views self-defense. If you're coming at me with a knife, that's a deadly weapon. If you, I don't know, hit me in the face, the eyeball, neck, this cop easily could have died if she hit him here in the neck instead of the face. But why do police officers feel like they have to sit there and wait and essentially put their own life on the line when someone is coming at them with a deadly weapon? It's because of all of the backlash that's happened in the past. Oh man, you shot a black person. BLM. It doesn't matter what the black person was doing. It doesn't matter what the Mexican person, Asian, whatever. It just matters if you kill them or not, or if you shoot them, or if you don't try to defend your life. What happens if it's you or I? What happens if it's a situation where we're just walking down a hallway, somebody pulls a knife out and tries to slash us? Do we wait? Do we do the same thing that this police officer did? Do we say, oh no, how is this going to be looked at by the media? Or do we handle the situation as we see fit and then pretty much just suffer the consequences after based on the political climate? When it comes to this stuff, we need to remove color, we need to remove politics, we need to remove all of that. We need to simply look at this as a situation of combat, a situation of life and death. Can figure it out. This is what they said about this. Georgetown women's basketball mourns the tragic loss of Sydney Wilson. Really? How is this a tragic loss? She tried to kill somebody and got killed instead. So for the people who are struggling understanding this, remove the color in every single situation. If the person's white, do you have the same fired up attitude? If the person's Mexican, Asian? I don't know, man. It's just kind of odd to me because I don't look at this stuff like that. The videos that I do, I cover the FBI going and knocking on people's doors all the time. It doesn't matter who the person is. If it's screwed up of the FBI to even be there, I'm not ignoring it because it's a black person. I'm not ignoring it because it's a Mexican person. It's all still wrong. Why don't people understand that? It is the wildest thing to me. Now, who knows what's going to happen with this? Obviously, I think the officer did nothing wrong. He protected his life and he put down a person who is absolutely nuts. But what would happen if it was you or me? We don't have a body cam. It's our word against a dead person's word, which doesn't already look good to prosecutors, DAs. I imagine they're gonna say something like the person only had a knife, you could have ran away, stuff like that. This is why it's so important to have attorneys on retainer on your side. If you get into a self-defense situation like this, attorneys on retainer handles everything from the moment the incident happens all the way to the end of any legal proceedings you're in. That goes from as soon as it happens, you call their emergency hotline, you speak with an attorney, so you have attorney-client privilege. They handle bail coverage, everything throughout the trial at no cost to you. And if you get convicted or you take a plea deal, they're not asking for their money back like some of these insurance companies can do. And look, I know there are a lot of options out there. I recommend people do their research, especially if you were listening to other gun tubers out there who are promoting other insurances. Just do a quick search on how they treat their customers. What we value is integrity, taking care of the customer. So we're giving you $50 off your individual sign up. There's gonna be a link and code below the video. Go make sure you're protected. Stuff like this happens.